Cheers. Yeah, that's right.
You gonna stand, Mike?
You want to get me with the desserts.
He said he sent the antigen, and so I'm going to check on that and watch the film.
But I'll tell you how he sent it.
The place is this. What do you do with the plates, huh? The plates.
I forgot my camera.
Happy 20th anniversary MSG meeting.
We might call on some individuals to kind of help introduce him. And where is he? Oh, he's right here. So,
I was told to sit right here.
that's good. That's good. So I'll start. I had some notes, but it looks like I got a yarmulke here from the Scott Joe Bernstein Bar Mitzvah. This is good for covering bald spots. I might try this later when you. I'll save it here for you. Okay.
Mike asked us to think about funny incidents that we've been involved in with Bill. And I thought about it for a day, and then another day, and then a week. And I mean, get real, Mike. I mean, the guy doesn't have a sense of humor.
With this success has come great fame. Why, Billy D is now a household name. But did this glory make him put on airs? No, of course not. He just lost all his hairs. 20 years with Billy D, running the good old MSG.
All due respect, I was told this was to be a malignant roast. So whatever I say is born from affection and admiration. You know, to come up with material on Dismukes for a roast is really a challenge. So what I'm going to do is tell you the 10 most unlikely quotes that Bill Dismukes could have made. Okay? I think I'll just throw on some old clothes and go in casual today. Okay, the next two are things he might have said. Let's see if we can get Dennis Dixon and Steve Heiss to approve an MSG combined minoxidil plus Viagra study. And in that same category is, it is possible that there is something in the divisional water that causes alopecia.
We do go way back. I won't say.
Instead of
But no, I don't need that.
Okay, all right.
That's not the right spot. But Mike said to roast Bill, and it, as has been mentioned, was hard to do. And then on the plane down to Washington, I happened to sit next to Johnny Carson. And he said that he would lend me his turban and he would FedEx it to the Hyatt, but when I checked in, it wasn't there. So I'm not sure this will work as to whether I will be able to tell you what's in these envelopes, but we'll give it a try. Now, they have to be done in the right order. The first one...
Supposed to put it to your head even without the turban.
The first one is Jack Bennett, David Stevens, NIH, NIAID.
So that's Jack Bennett, David Stevens, and the NIH, NIAID.
Very good. And the question for which those are the answers is, What are the major causes of alopecia in an MSG
You got that one right, Karnak.
The next one, Bill Gates, IBM, and Charlotte Brown.
Bill Gates, IBM, and Charlotte Brown. For those of you who don't know, Charlotte Brown is Bill's administrative assistant.
I know the answer to this one.
You do?
You can check me.
Okay, I'll check you. The answer is
Who is under long-term contract to teach WED how to read and write email?
got it. You're pretty good at this.
And I think I'm going to know this one too. Minoxidil, Proscar, and Viagra.
Minoxidil, Proscar, and Viagra.
You better read this one.
I don't think I can handle it. It's too close to home.
I can't quite tell. What drugs are most likely found in the medicine cabinet at the Dismukes home?
Okay, there's a lot of Dismukes produce in this room right now. I am one of them. Another Dismukes produce individual is Dr. Peter Pappas. These are the types of comments you usually make after you have your salary renegotiated and are certain of your continued employment at an institution. And I thought I would share with you some sort of a day in the life of Dr. D. And one of the things that makes him difficult is to do any sort of parody or roast on is because, as many of us have said, he appears so straight. And that is really his demeanor, is one of very straight, very fair, honest, hardworking sort of guy. But I'm going to share with you a side of him that's very sinister, and one that only his wife and a handful of others really know about. So you may leave here with a very different image of Bill Dismukes, and I may no longer be with you. So, morning report, about 8 a.m. Usually by the end of that time, 9 a.m. is rolling around. He's a little bit frustrated, getting on the resident's case a little bit for not doing certain things or knowing certain facts, but generally pretty benign. Next slide. Well, 10 o'clock rolls around. He's checked his email. He's responded by email. He has responded by email to people all around the world, and now it's time to make a call to the NIH. The news is usually not very good. The news is often not good, and so this starts a downward cycle that really culminates in what happens at the end of the day, as I will show you. Next slide. In the meantime, this is prior to a call to David Stevens. Bill is asking for help from above. Next slide. The day has come close to an end, and we're making afternoon rounds, and it's really time to throw up your hands. Bill's had more to do this day and more frustrations than you can possibly imagine. So what does he do? He checks into the hospital. Next slide. Entirely exhausted. Actually, this is also part of his role as a teacher. He even likes to play the part of the patient. And one of our chief residents, Dr. Fontenot, is pictured here taking care of him as Bill gives a story of mental and physical exhaustion. I guess one of the points we need to make is the man came to UAB with a beard and with hair 25 years ago or so, and you see the results of what all this has done to him at this point. Well, this physical and emotional strain is more than he can take. So about once a week, he checks into the hospital, generally to the CCU, next slide, where defibrillation is frequently applied. But being the triple threat, the true triple threat, and Superman that he is, next slide, he's usually up and ready to go
generally by the next day. And so this is early in the morning, pre-discharge, prior to taking morning report. Next slide. So that's sort of a day in his life. And so you'd say, well, when he hasn't been admitted, what does the man do for entertainment? What can he possibly do to unwind? And this is where the real dark side of Bill begins to emerge. We all have our habits. Some of us like to do things that we're not particularly proud of, but one of Bill's favorite habits, next slide, is to dress up as a nurse. And it's not uncommon to come in on a Saturday morning and Bill is just wearing his nursing outfit. But what really will get you is that back when Wayne's World was being made, they were auditioning for actors in the Birmingham area, and so Bill and Glenn Cobbs, next slide, decided that they might audition for the part. This is Dismukes and this is Cobbs. Needless to say, they didn't make it. But next slide. Bill did have to audition and do one of the songs. And so this is a side of Bill that most of you never see. This is sort of the loosey-goosey side of Bill. But the side that I think that most of us, next slide, the side that we really like the best is this one on Saturday morning.
Well, that's a tough act to follow, and I thank all of you who made numerous comments, some true, many totally untrue. A few rebuttals. Minoxidil I need, Viagra. It's been a really great 20 years with all of you, and I have enjoyed it. I wear many hats. I enjoy the challenge. That's why I do what I do. I like my roles and with the MSG and fungal diseases, my clinical mycology. I also like my roles with training of young doctors, students, and house staff. I do increasingly more administration, and that's rather trying at times. I don't, as many of us in this room, don't have the opportunity to interact with patients as much as I formerly did, and I miss that a lot. Medicine's changed a lot. I'm not a stiff, as I might have been portrayed. You saw me in a nurse's outfit. I will kill Melissa for it. Fun. I love to ski. I love to play tennis. I don't do it as much as I'd like to. I greatly enjoy my children. I have one 11-month-old red-headed granddaughter, Katie, and she's the love of my life right now. My mother's also a redhead, and my mother was a redhead. And all of that's special. Your comments are important to me, and I will cherish them. Karnak Karchma, I will repay at some point. A little harder to get back at AW at the Deaconess Beth Israel, but I can sure as hell promise you that those two that I'm very responsible for that would help your looks.
Should have been a rabbi.
And then when you get tired of wearing it, you can put it on. The whole group that I work with is very special. They've been very loyal persons. I couldn't do all I do without the help of numerous people at UAB and all of you. So this is a very special night for me. I didn't expect it, and all of your comments have been very meaningful, and I look forward to very strong and continued relationships over the next several years. I certainly won't commit to 20, but to several. Thank you very much.